Good morning, everyone. Yesterday we had begun with a new chapter. What is democracy and why democracy is important? We had discussed about the definition of democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. One chief factor common to all democracies is that the government is chosen by the people. It also helps students to demarcate or differentiate between a democratic and non democratic government. From the non democratic government, take the example of Myanmar, where rulers were not elected by the people. Those who were in charge of the army of the country took over as rulers, and people had no say in this decision. Dictators like Pinochet are not elected by the people. This also applies to monarchies. Now, with this definition of democracy, right, and if we remember the cases which we have studied in the previous chapters, in the previous chapter, we have studied about Chile, we have studied about Poland, we have studied about Ghana, and we have studied about Myanmar, right? And when we go through these cases, we can easily differentiate what democracy is and why democracy is important, right? What experience is it to live in, no? What kind of experience people have when they live in a democratic country and when they live in a non-democratic country. In simple words, if you are living in a non-democratic country, you are deprived of all your rights. You have no say in the government decision, and you don't have your freedom of expression. Whereas if we talk about democracy, the government is formed by the people. People are the actual rulers. That is what makes democracy the best form of government. Now, features of democracy. The simple definition of democracy gives rise to various questions which are given below. Who are the rulers in this definition? What kind of election constitutes a democratic election? Who are the kind of people who can elect the rulers or get elected as rulers? Finally, what form of government is a democracy? Now, these questions will be answered one by one. Major decision by elected leaders. If you consider the case of Pakistan, where the democracy was overthrown by Pervez Musharraf, right? In 1999, Pervez Musharraf threw democracy from Pakistan and he established dictatorship. In 2002, he decided to hold an election, an election that granted him a 5-year extension. Also, right? Also, after passing this legal framework order, elections were held to the national and provincial assemblies, and elected representatives were granted some powers. But the final power rested with military officers and General Musharraf himself. Hence, we can conclude that it was not a democratic country. The same thing happens in many dictatorships and monarchies. Thus, we can conclude that in a democracy, the final decision-making power must rest with those elected by the people. Right? Now, in 2002, he had held a referendum. Why? To show that yes, people are enjoying their rights. You can say it was just to create a virtual image of democracy, right? He came in 1999. He established dictatorship. Then, just to create a virtual image in the mind of people, he decided to hold an election, right? In 2002, he held an election in which, right, people had voted for him forcibly or willingly or unwillingly, right? Willingly or unwillingly, people had voted for him, and he was given a 5-year extension. Elections were held, meaning power would be divided, what happens in elections? In elections, when elections are held, power is divided among different levels of government, right? Power gets divided among different levels of government so that equality is maintained, and the decision which comes out, it no the decision which comes out is in the benefit of the people. But in case of this kind of election, what happened? Elections were held, certain rights were granted, but still the final power rested in the hands of military. And that is why we cannot call these kind of elections as democratic. And we cannot call this kind of country as a democratic country. Now, what are these free and fair electoral competition? Because the earlier one, which we had, which we were having discussion, that election was not a free and fair one. Now, in China, elections are held after every 5 years for electing the country's parliament, called Guanggu Renmin Daibyo Dahui, means National People's Congress. Before contesting elections, a candidate needs the approval of the Chinese Communist Party. Now, come on, right? If you want to stand in the election, the Chinese Communist Party will give a nod whether you can participate in the election or not. Now, if this Chinese Communist Party sees you as a threat, sees you as a potential candidate who can, who can challenge their policies, Chinese Communist Party will never allow you to vote, allow you to participate in the election. So half of the democracy is gone here only. Why? Because you have to pass through the test of Chinese Communist Party first. The government is always formed by the Communist Party. Why? Because they elect candidates from their own party. They elect the candidates, right? They elect the candidates, or they allow the candidates from their own party to participate in the election. That is why the government is always formed by the Communist Party. Now, from the outer outlook, they are showing to the world that the country is democratic and free and fair electoral competitions are being held everywhere, right? But in reality, if you do the reality check, the reality is completely different. Alternatively, since its independence in 1930, Mexico holds election after every 6 years to elect its president. But until 2000, every election was won by a party called Institutional Revolutionary Party. From 2000, until 2000, means from 1930 till 2000, single party was winning the election. Can we call it a democracy? Should we consider the elections described above as an example of people electing their rulers? Reading these examples, we get a sense that we cannot. Democracy must be based on a free and fair election. Those currently in power have a fair chance of losing as well. Now, class, what you will do is I'll provide you with the PDF of this chapter. Read your chapter till here. Thoroughly read it, right? If any kind of confusion is there till here, you are free to raise your question on your WhatsApp group. Thank you.